A very good evening to you all. Thank you for joining us for the second edition of the News Tonight, the 10 o'clock edition. With me, WADULO Mark Arnold, this 30th day of October 2022. We're coming to the end. With Galu Muhammad on sign language, we shall start the news right about now. In our first story, President Yoweri Kaguta Museveni advised the church to continue sowing seeds of love, unity, discipline, sacrifice, hard work, integrity, and patriotism among the people. The president's message was delivered by the Prime Minister Robin Anabanja during the Golden Jubilee celebrations for the Bunyoro-Chitara Diocese held at St. Peter's Cathedral, Hoima, in the Hoima Oil City.
President Yoweri Kaguta Museveni says that preaching unity, love, discipline and hard work is the bedrock of the gospel of Jesus Christ. This was contained in a speech read for him by the Prime Minister Robin Anabanja during Golden Jubilee celebrations for Bunyoro-Chitara Diocese held at St. Peter's Cathedral, Hoima, in Hoima Oil City.
I call upon the church to continue sowing the seeds of love, unity, discipline, sacrifice, hard work, integrity, patriotism among the people. This is the backbone of the gospel of Jesus Christ, because we are all co-workers with Christ, as the scriptures say.
The president commended the church for its commendable role in the socio-economic transformation of the country.
I want to take this opportunity to call upon all of you to get rid of poverty from your homes. Families should utilize the available land to initiate commercial farming. The NRM government's mission is to enhance the pace of socio-economic development through implementing far-reaching changes in the livelihood of our people of Uganda by transforming the Ugandan economy.
The Archbishop of the Church of Uganda, His Grace, Dr. Stephen Kazimba Mugalu, while preaching as the main celebrant, condemned the grabbing of church land in the country and especially in the oil-rich region of Bunyoro. The Prime Minister Bunyoro-Chitara Kingdom, Andrew Byakutanga, lauded the NRM government for the development of the kingdom and promised to cooperate with the church to develop the kingdom.
Obukama bujageno maiso ne bukwatanzana banyadini omunteekaniza z'okwimukia enyikara mu maka hamu n'okusagika obusinge obumu n'enkulakulana. Tukusima gavumenti n'okukira muno Right Honorable Akiki habwe bikozera omu Bukama. Tukusima bwenteekaniza y'okutandika University ya Bunyoro ya gavumenti kandi nteerera abantu boona kwekamba kusomesa abaana basobole kwekonyeza University eno kutwara ebenyegeso maiso omu Bukama. Akiki tukusimire muno talina kugarukira habwa mulimo gwakozere hamu na parliamentary caucus ya Bunyoro kutandika University eno. Webale muna Akiki. Tuija kusagika akatebe akateirweho kutandika University ya Bunyoro kakola omulimo omulungi nuko University eno ikirize enteekaniza y'okusomesa abaana baitu.
The Bishop of Bunyoro-Chitara Diocese, Right Reverend Samuel Kahuma, said the church appreciates what the government is doing to develop the country.
The mighty hand of God has been evidently present in our ministry undertakings, and thus our Jubilee theme, all that we have accomplished, you have done for us. Isaiah 26 verse 12. We acknowledge with gratitude the government of the Republic of Uganda under the wise and able leadership of His Excellency General Yoweri Kaguta Museveni for enabling support to the church and a conducive environment to preach the gospel.
During the celebrations, more than 50 Christians, who included former Bogahia County Kiza Rebembera, accepted Jesus Christ as his savior. The president contributed 200 million Uganda shillings towards the Golden Jubilee celebrations, and the prime minister also contributed 20 million Uganda shillings towards the establishment of an FM radio station for the diocese to preach the gospel. Over 109 million shillings was realized in cash and pledges. The celebrations were graced by bishops from within and outside Uganda, including those from Rwanda. Sandra Kahonde, Jimmy Aluri, UBC News.
State Minister for Higher Education, Dr. John Chrysostom Muyingo, has appealed to religious leaders to continue working closely with the central government in order to facilitate development and improvement of livelihoods. Muyingo was representing government at the 56th anniversary celebrations and bestowing of a pallium to Archbishop of Kampala, His Grace liturgical vestment for Kampala Archdiocese at the Rubaga Cathedral.
The Archbishop of Kampala, His Grace Paul Samogere, has officially been handed over a pallium by the Pope Nuncio in Uganda, Luigi Bianco. The handover of the pallium to the Kampala Archdiocese Bishop Paul Samogere was witnessed by who is who in the Archdiocese.
For the honor of the Church of the Archdiocese of Kampala, which has been placed in your care, and as a symbol of your authority as Metropolitan Archbishop.
A pallium is a liturgical vestment worn by the Pope, archbishops and some bishops in the Roman Catholic Church.
Since the pallium is traditionally connected to the papacy, it reinforces the unity of the bishops with the Pope, then symbolizes also the pastoral and judicial powers of a bishop. I ask you to pray for me to shepherd you well.
The event coincided with the Archdiocese's 56th anniversary celebrations, often marked on every last Sunday of October.
Tinga tujaguza olunaku luno essaala yaffe tugambe nti ayi Katonda muyinza buli kantu omuzira kisa gwe abakristu b'okuweereza mu ngeri esaanidde era n'ekitiibwa.
Archbishop Paul Samogere urged Ugandans to denounce corruption and all forms of evil.
In other words, inasmuch as the Lord will come in fulfillment of His promise to us, we must go ahead living our lives. We must not sit down doing nothing. Rather, we have to get ourselves busy with good deeds.
The day's events were presided over by the Pope Nuncio of Uganda, His Excellency Luigi Bianco.
Always we have to focus in the mission of the Church, which is her mission, and to give collaboration, everyone, in this important duty.
Government was represented by State Minister for Higher Education, Dr. John Chrysostom Muyingo.
Fenga government tukola nnyo naye tetusobola kukola nga tukolaganye na Kiriziya. Kyenva nsaba nti enkolagana ennungi eriwo wakati wa Kiriziya ne government. Buli omu ku mmwe asobola aliko kyasobola tukikole okulanga enkolagana eyo yongera kunywera. Government eteekateeka enkyukakyuka ez'omuggundu mu byenjigiriza. Twagala enkyukakyuka ezo zibeereza mmwe z'Abannayuganda. Tutaddewo akakiiko ako katandise okutambula nga kagenda kanoonyereza ebirowoozo byammwe. Education yaffe efaanana etya? Mbasaba bakulu bange, baganda bange, tugendeyo tuweeyo ebirowoozo.
Muyingo also rallied support for the fight against Ebola and COVID-19.
Naye nabaddeko kabaga kantuusiza ku ssaawa nga 2 ez'ekiro. Nalabye Bannayuganda nga bagwangana mu bifuba, bakwatagana mu ngalo, n'ogamba nti obaali beetaaga ddoboozi lya Ssaabasumba ku mukolo nga guno. Basebo ne bannyabo, mwabali wano gavumenti ebeetaga nga muli balamu. Mujja kubeera balamu singa tugoberera amateeka agatuweebwa gavumenti ku bigambo by'obulamu.
Other speakers who included Noah Kimba from Buganda Kingdom all re-echoed the need to return to the Lord as the only way of restoring peace and harmony in the world.
Nga bulijjo obwakabaka bwa Buganda bweya mu kukwatizaako mulimu guno Katonda gwe yakugwanyiza.
The Archbishop of Kampala, Paul Semogeri, on June 29, 2022, received his pallium from Pope Francis at St. Peter's Basilica in Vatican during Holy Mass celebrations in honor of the martyrdom of Saints Peter and Paul Apostles. As Kampala Archdiocese celebrates 56 years of existence, there is no doubt that it has shaped millions of people's lives in the social, economic and spiritual aspects. However, when it comes to politics, the Archdiocese has been at the center of redirecting the political affairs of our country, Uganda. Robert Onyango, UBC News, Kampala.
Tororo Member of Parliament has stepped up efforts to equip all candidates in government-aided primary schools with basic scholastic materials ahead of the primary leaving examinations next week. The MP's move comes in as most parents are struggling to provide scholastic materials for their children ahead of the exams due to the current economic situation.
A number of parents are facing hardships in supporting their children at school, especially feeding and providing scholastic materials. In Itoro district, with a total of 163 government-aided primary schools, only 50 schools are attempting to feed their learners.
Most of the schools, the learners are not having midday meals. The guardians and the parents are claiming that there is famine and there is a hardship.
A number of parents are now battling to provide writing materials for their children as PLO exams approach.
Affording even a pencil is a big problem right now because you balance between a pencil and a half kilo of flour for that same child to eat. The schools need support from the parents. The same parents need support from another person.
The difficult situation parents and learners are going through has since prompted the Toro Municipality Member of Parliament, Apollo Yeri Ofono, to strategically intervene. The legislator has since distributed mathematical sets to all candidates in all 15 government-aided primary schools in his constituency ahead of the forthcoming primary leaving examinations due on 7th of November.
Most of us even were planning to book neighbors whom we're going to borrow from the instruments that we're supposed to use in class in the examination room. But we are very excited and we are very happy that at least he has helped us and he has provided us with the mathematical set.
The economy is not doing well. The prices are high. So I said, can't I try to provide these sets so that at least we secure the future of these children.
According to the education heads, Yeri's contribution is expected to change the municipality's primary leaving examinations performance this year.
It is very motivational. It has inspired all these candidates going to see 2022. You can see the excitement everybody is having. So we also see the parents are motivated to have all their children in school.
Look at a population of 206 that he has had to give mathematical sets. Wow, really? I just hold my head backwards.
The State Minister for Higher Education, Dr. John Chrysostom Muyingo, has also advised workers likely to be affected by the proposed government ministries, department and agencies merger not to worry, as there is a solution for everything. Muyingo was presiding over the closing of a 7-day Uganda Nurses and Midwives Examinations Board Human Resource Review retreat held at Imperial Resort Beach Hotel in Entebbe.
Plans are in advanced stages to merge some of the government departments and agencies, mainly to avoid duplications and also cut on administrative costs. The Minister of State for Higher Education, Dr. John Chrysostom Muyingo, advises those that might be affected not to panic, as their services will not be terminated. He also says staffs will improve and quality services will be delivered after the merger. Muyingo disclosed this during Uganda Nurses and Midwives Examination Board Human Resource Review Retreat at Imperial Resort Beach Hotel in Entebbe.
This does not mean that work has to stall, but you need to engage in discussions to ensure that you prepare for smooth transition. This is no longer a rumor, it used to be a rumor, but now it's a reality because Cabinet has already taken a position to merge you with your head. So I expect during this period, the two agencies to be talking to each other.
He said Uganda Nurses and Midwives Examination Board is likely to be merged with the Allied Health Workers. The Executive Secretary of Uganda Nurses and Midwives Examination Board, Helen Mukakarisa Katarantambi, said they will continue being creative, merge positions in relation to the number of candidates and training institutions.
65,000 per semester. The staff have continuously worked for long hours, and sometimes the annual leave is forfeited. Therefore, Honourable Minister, the need for urgent recruitment if we have to implement and come out with quality and authentic processes.
The chairman of Uganda Nurses and Midwives Examinations Board, Wakida John, promised to plan and maintain the outstanding performance of their candidates for quality service delivery.
From the Ministry of Education and Sports, without which such achievements or milestones would have not been realized. In this regard, Honourable Minister, we request you to extend our sincere thanks to the fountain of honor, the head of state of this country.
Dr. John Chrysisто Muyingo, the outgoing chairpersons of Uganda Nurses and Midwives Examinations Board, Mariam Walusimbi, and the outgoing private for-profit nursing and midwifery training institutions, Mugisha Andrew, were recognized for their support to the nurses examination. Joseph Oko, Salon Kasiwete, UBC.
Now, in 1992, President Yoweri Kaguta Museveni, at the invitation of the late Zimula Mugwanya, paid a courtesy visit to Mawokota County. In this edition of Presidential Files, Commander-in-Chief Files, rather, this is what the President had to tell the people of Katonga, who greatly supported the 5-year protracted bush war.
MTN joins the people of Keralur to celebrate the 12th coronation anniversary of the King of Keralur, His Royal Majesty Ubim Philip Raoni III in October. At MTN, we believe that we only succeed if the communities in which we operate succeed. And so, we're happy to join the people and well-wishers of the people of Keralur in promoting social cultural programs of the UBIM.
Walego Mugisa ni UBIMu ku Keralur.
The Ministry of Health informs the public that there are confirmed cases of Ebola in Uganda. We, however, urge the public not to panic as the situation is being managed. The Ministry of Health further reminds the public to be on the lookout for any persons who may show signs and symptoms of Ebola. These include high body temperature, abdominal pains, diarrhea, vomiting, bleeding from the body openings such as the nose, eyes, and mouth. Please inform inform the nearest health worker immediately if you see anyone with these signs and symptoms. To prevent Ebola from spreading further, please take the following preventive measures: regular washing of hands with water and soap, avoid handshaking and hugging, avoiding any contact with any suspected Ebola patients. Any person who dies suddenly should not be buried but reported to the nearest health worker or LC1 immediately. For further information, please call the Ministry of Health toll-free number on 0800-100-066 or send a free SMS to your report on 8500. This message is from the Ministry of Health with support from UNICEF and World Health Organization.
That's right. The Voice is coming to a city near you. From the 21st of October to the 10th of November, you get a chance to showcase your talent. Prepare a 1-minute MP4 video of yourself singing and upload it to thevoice.africa to register. Make sure you have a valid Airtel number, and if you're shortlisted, you will be contacted to come in for the live auditions.
Well, don't just stand there, let's go!
Music your passion, Africa your stage. The Voice Africa, connected by Airtel.
Welcome to Friends Stadium. Everybody's ready. Wait a second, not everybody. Come on, dude, it's the FIFA World Cup. You're going to lose your seat, the ritual seat, the lucky one. Losing more than a seat, your team is going to lose. Where are you, dude? The match is about to start. Your friends won't hold out much longer. Excuse me. Finally, everything is in the right place. Hey, other hand. And you, do you have everything you need to believe?
Meet Professor Petero. He knows something every hustler in UG is gonna love.
Just get Airtel Money Pay so that all money comes direct to your business wallet and only you, the owner, have access to it.
Just dial *185 *10 hash and now you are on. No waiting. Yes, become a safer and more efficient cash-free business today.
No mixing your business money with your Kameza money.
Airtel Money. Instant, secure, borderless.
Welcome back. You're still watching the UBC News Tonight. Now, before we went for the break, I was giving you a story of the Commander-in-Chief files. In 1996, the First Lady and now the Honorable Minister of Education, Mama Janet Museveni, organized a Thanksgiving service in Luwero. His Excellency, Lieutenant General Yoweri Kaguta Museveni, a newly elected President of the Republic of Uganda, then was the chief guest. We now, in this edition of the Commander-in-Chief Files, bring you his remarks to the people of Luwero, an attachment to Luwero as the mecca of the NRA revolution. Let's take a look.
Welcome to Commander-in-Chief Files, and in this episode of CNC Files, we call forth what happened in 1996 when the Commander-in-Chief, His Excellency, Lieutenant General Yoweri Kaguta Museveni, visited Luwero. In his address, he pointed out how important Luwero was in the struggle for fighting for freedom.
Why did I bring this function to Luwero? Actually, my wife is the one who organized this function of Thanksgiving mainly. I was supporting her from a distance. But she organized it here in Luwero because I had already made my own decision to come and thank the people of Luwero politically. I had started my tours. I told her that I would start my thank you tours in Luwero. And that's why that's when she also had an idea that we could at the same time have Thanksgiving while I'm on the tour in Luwero. Now, the reason why I decided to start with Luwero is for two reasons. First of all, during the campaign, we were not discussing very much. It was a bit superficial, because you would come, you rush, 6 rallies, you don't have time to discuss issues, just running around. But I think now I will have time to thank the people, to explain to the people. But secondly, Luwero is one part of our country that all Ugandans should hold in high esteem. This is because the people of Luwero physically provided a base to the liberation movement, which in the end defeated the dictatorship that had held Uganda in a stronghold since 1966. They are the ones who physically provided the base. And for this really, for me, I will always regard Luwero as my political Mecca. Whenever the Muslims are praying, they look to Mecca. So for me, when I am talking about politics, I look in the direction of Luwero. Because they are the ones who provided us with a physical base. They suffered, of course. Many people here were killed. Semogere said we had fought a senseless war. That's what Kawanga Paulo Semogere said. He said that we had fought a senseless war. Now, I don't know what sensible war Kawanga Semogere has ever fought, a sensible one. I don't know how people like Semogere think would have got rid of the dictatorship in Uganda if we had not fought in the manner we fought. Anyway, for me, I am convinced that there was no other way to get rid of the dictatorship. There was no other way to relaunch Uganda, both politically and even economically, without waging the war we waged. And I am eternally grateful for the people of Luwero for the physical base they provided us that enabled us to defeat the dictatorship.
The president was attending a Thanksgiving organized by the First Lady, Mama Janet Museveni, just after the elections in 1996.
Presidential files. In other news, the executive chairman of Sipla Quality Chemical Industries Limited, Emmanuel Katongole, has appealed for collective support to Mengo Hospital to enable it transit into a first world-class health facility. Emmanuel Katongole, speaking during a dinner organized to mark 125 years of Mengo Hospital's existence, held at Hotel Africana in Kampala.
The executive chairman of Sipla Quality Chemical Industries Limited, Emmanuel Katongole, says Mengo Hospital should be supported to attain international referral standards since it was the pioneer medical facility in the region.
At that time, translated into Uganda shillings, was about 1.4 billion shillings. We gave it to Mengo Hospital. And when it came to equipping this blood bank, we added another $150,000.
This was at a dinner organized to mark 125 years of Mengo Hospital's existence, held at Hotel Africana in Kampala.
You see hospitals like Aga Khan Hospital, Nairobi Hospital, you see something that is different. I argue to do whatever it takes to be the Nairobi Hospital of Uganda.
Buganda Kingdom Minister for Youth, Sports and Recreation, Henry Sekabembe Chiberu attended the dinner and said the kingdom will continue to work very closely with Mengo Hospital.
Greatness of this nature is lead on three factors. You must have strategic leadership at that highest level, you must have leadership at operational level, and you have leadership at team level. The three factors, when they team up together, you have got such an great achievement. Therefore, we congratulate them. We feel they are destined to scale further.
Mengo Hospital Medical Director Dr. Rose Mutumba enumerated Mengo Hospital achievements since its inception.
We have tried to renew the infrastructure, new buildings, modern buildings. We've also acquired new equipment. We are able to do dialysis at Mengo Hospital, for example. We have a blood bank. There are many services that are coming into Mengo Hospital now.
Mutumba appealed to all the people residing in Kampala and Wakiso districts to avoid big gatherings and unnecessary travels in order to control the spread of Ebola virus disease.
I think it is everybody's responsibility to protect yourself. The ministry has done its work. They have warned us again and again and given us guidance on how to protect ourselves. It's up to each individual person now to take responsibility.
Mengo Hospital pioneered modern medicine health care in Uganda and East Africa. It was started by Sir Dr. Albert Ruskin Cook on 22nd February 1897 on land donated by Daniel Mwanga II at Mengo Hill.
The Ministry of Water and Environment, in collaboration with Gomba West Member of Parliament Robina Rakwojo, have started a campaign to rehabilitate valley tanks and water dams in the district to improve production and cattle rearing activities. This was revealed in a working field tour and inspection of various water sources in the district. These are the details.
Gomba is a predominantly pastoral and cattle-keeping district. Due to the harsh climatic conditions, in the early 1950s, government constructed the valley dams to provide the community water for domestic use, irrigation and watering livestock. As events unfolded, the different water reservoirs got into a sore state with many dysfunction.
Tunywa wamu na ante, era n'ente zaffe kwe zinywa, daamu eno eyamba omuluka gwonna guliho Kirasi, Waneddegeya, Nakitembe, Kigulubya, Makuukulu, Kammengo, era n'ekwata ne ku muluka omulala ogw'Ekigezi, lw'Ekibira, bonna bakimaano n'ente zaabwe we zinywa.
Tuludde nga tukaabira daamu eno ng'etufuddeko. Ate daamu eno ng'etukwatiridde emyaka mingi nnyo, abantu bangi nnyo abagikozesa. So tubadde tulaajana nnyo buli wamu batukolere ku daamu, waakiri batwerulire ekiddo tufunemu amazzi amayonjo abantu ge bakozesa. Daamu eno ekozesa omuluka mulamba.
Now the Member of Parliament Gomba West constituency, Robina Rakwojo, has lobbied the Minister of Water and Environment for the renovation of these valley dams.
I went out and sought for them to come because we have a water problem in Gomba. In Gomba West, we really have a water problem. It's quite dry. So they came to look at the dams we have, and they looked at Chai, Bugula, Degeya, Kawala, Rechibira, and here in Chitwe. Thankfully, the catchment areas are good. The water actually gets into the area where the dam is. And they are the experts on this. So we expect that they'll go back and do their reports and tell us what they can do for us because our need is water.
The community welcomed the idea, saying the revival of these water sources will greatly improve their standards of living.
Honorable Rakwojo, for the work she does for us in our community. And not only that, even we thank for the government for the preparation they do for us in order to uplift our standard of living, especially assisting us in any problem.
MP Rakwojo decried the water problem in the district and singled out resistance of local population to surrender their land for water sources as one of the challenges.
It is up to us to tell them that there's no loss in giving to the community. It's something that's going to be used by generations, and you will be remembered in the history of Gomba. So I would urge whoever has land where any of the dams that we're interested in is to surrender it for the purposes of the use of water by the community. There's also another problem we noticed of access roads, access paths for the cows and for people. That can be worked on.
An engineer from Ministry of Water and Environment, Joseph Waswa, expressed the ministry's commitment to providing water to the community.
As the ministry, we do not really have a budget for compensation currently. Our major goal is to ensure that the community identify their need. Then they can be able to write to ministry saying or outlining that they do have the facility land is available, and so we expect that this land here that we visited today is readily available by the farmers, and thereby we can be able to engage to undertake various studies, including consultancy studies to verify the feasibility of this structure being increased or being rehabilitated to provide the needs.
Ivan Juko, Stephen Kayumba for UBC News.
And with that, let's take a short commercial break. When we return, we'll be back with business. Stay tuned.
So, I'm here to announce that the MTN Kampala Marathon is back. And this year, we are running for babies. To be clear, I am not talking about a baby. No. And neither am I talking about to be baby. I am talking about these small dollars.
Run for babies in the MTN Kampala Marathon on Sunday, 20th November 2022. Dial *165 *77# or use the Momo app to register.
It's better to foster respect instead of fear and pain.
Cause a good school equals a better life.
Raising voices.
Get connected today with the My Airtel 4G smartphone, the most affordable smartphone in Uganda. You get to enjoy free 1 GB for 1 whole year. My Airtel 4G smartphone, your best value for money. Visit the nearest Airtel outlet today and get one at only 250,000 Uganda shillings. Airtel, the smartphone network.
Welcome to Friend Stadium. Everybody's ready. Wait a second, not everybody. Come on, dude, it's the FIFA World Cup. You're going to lose your seat, the ritual seat, the lucky one. Losing more than a seat, your team is going to lose. Where are you, dude? The match is about to start. Your friends won't hold out much longer. Excuse me. Finally, everything is in the right place. Hey, other hand. And you, do you have everything you need to believe?
Welcome back. You're still watching UBC News Tonight, broadcasting live from Nile Avenue. In the world of business, with a few days to the 27th UN Climate Conference scheduled for the 6th to the 18th of November in Sharm el-Sheikh city in Egypt, a group of environmental activists have called upon heads of state and governments and delegates to come up with concrete resolutions towards addressing the ever-increasing global warming challenges. The group, led by Bruton Francis, is part of the Global Science Rebellion environment activists with global offices in UK, Brussels and America.
Let's come together and unite against climate failures. We also call in IMF, World Bank, to cancel the debts for global south countries.
Oh yes.
Because if they don't do that, we shall start extracting our fossil fuels and then we shall burn down our universe, which is so sad. Yeah, scientist rebellion now in Egypt. So we are calling all global South countries to come together in unit so that we can demand all the debts to be cancelled. Because if we don't cancel our debt, we shall all start extracting fossil fuels, and then we shall end up increasing the world global temperature. That means we shall breach 1.5, and you know the consequences. We shall be extincting, burning down all other animals. Our world is going to change. We shall have no second universe. Let's come together and unite against climate failure. We are scientist rebellion. We are global climate scientists.
I call upon all government leaders all over the world to join this fight. Temperatures are rising, it is flooding, aquatic life, birds, plants, and the human race at large is getting destroyed due to climate change. We all should know that it's one thing we should all fight as a globe. Climate justice now, climate action now. Listen to the scientists, hear the voices of the activists.
And now in the world of international news, at least 153 people have died in a crash as huge Halloween crowds surged into a narrow street in South Korea's capital, Seoul, officials say. At least another 82 were injured in the incident in the Itaewon nightlife area, which was holding its first unmasked Halloween celebration since COVID. Reports describe a desperate scene of people caught up in the crash, piling on top of each other. Most of the dead were teenagers or in their 20s. 20 were foreigners. The cause of the disaster is still being established. After holding an emergency meeting, South Korea's President Yoon Suk-yeol ordered a task force to be set up to help treat the injured. He also launched an investigation into the cause of the crash. These are some of the details.
Other footage showed fire officials and citizens desperately treating dozens of people who appeared to be unconscious. A Reuters witness said a makeshift morgue was set up in a building adjacent to the scene. About 4 dozen bodies were carried out later on wheeled stretchers and moved to a government facility to identify the victims, according to the witness. The Itaewon district is popular with young South Koreans and expatriates alike. Its dozens of bars and restaurants packed on Saturday for Halloween. It was the first Halloween event in Seoul in 3 years after the country lifted COVID restrictions and social distancing. Authorities said they were investigating the exact cause of the incident. President Yoon Suk-yeol presided over an emergency meeting with senior aides.
And then into Russia. Russia has announced it is suspending its involvement in the internationally brokered deal that allows Ukraine to export grain from its Black Sea ports. It comes after Russia accused Ukraine of a massive drone attack on the Black Sea fleet on the Sevastopol, Crimea. Ukraine has not admitted the attack, and President Vladimir Zelensky called the Russian move rather predictable without providing evidence. Russia also accused British troops of being involved in Saturday's attack. It also accused the UK of blowing up gas pipelines last month. In its response, the UK Ministry of Defense said that Russia was peddling false claims of an epic scale. Russia's defense ministry says that drones used in Saturday's attack targeted ships involved in the grain deal.
In an 8-month war that began with Russia's invasion in February. The conflict has recently been dominated by a Ukrainian counteroffensive and Russian drone and missile attacks that have destroyed more than 30%.
And well into sport. Ham Enterprises, the developer of Nachivable Multipurpose Stadium, have attributed the delay to complete Nachivable Stadium reconstruction to COVID-19 pandemic that slowed down civil works. The chairman, Ham Enterprises, Hamis Chigundu, discloses this during the tour of the stadium to ascertain the stages so far covered.
Nachivu Multipurpose Stadium is located in the central business district of Kampala City, where it was initially established on land donated by the Buganda King in 1926. The facility was modernized in 1954 by the British colonial government to commemorate the lives of Ugandans killed during the Second World War and named Nachivu War Memorial Stadium. The current rehabilitation involves improvement of its seating capacity from 30,000 to 35,000 people and construction of modern retail shops outside the walls of the facility.
Far from a physical analysis and a realistic point of view, at least I've managed to put this on ground. And to me as a person, I don't look at this just like a stadium. I look at this project or development from a general perspective as a legacy and an icon and a pillar of development to all Ugandans. Development which is centered on ordinary Ugandans.
Hamisi Chigundu on behalf of Ham Enterprises, a company authorized to spearhead the development and upgrading of the stadium, cites negative perception of Ugandans towards development and the COVID-19 pandemic that has delayed the works among other challenges.
Instead of moving by hearsay and negativity, at least you've taken the obligation or the onus upon yourselves to come and physically see the stadium and what is being done on the ground. At times it is not easy to simply talk and explain to Ugandans, you can do this, you can do this. A time comes when you have to show them from a physical perspective. That recently we had the COVID-19 pandemic, which set us a little bit back in terms of time and also financially, because when COVID hit, it hit everything, including construction sites, incomes. Our expenditures went high, and we even lost a few of our workers because of that challenge. Some of them moved back to the villages and they never came back. So the projection within or time frame within which we are supposed to finish the stadium was a little bit extended because of COVID, which affected us greatly. But further still, besides the effect in time, when you look at circumstances, like the cost of production has gone high because of COVID. The cost of material. So for a stadium that was to cost around $50 million, now it's going to a range of $147 million.
Chigundu is optimistic that the complex matches FIFA standards and will accommodate a wide range of sports activities.
Very good, like you can see, we are doing an international stadium within guidelines of FIFA. It is an international world-class stadium that is going to be housing international matches. We expect so many countries to come and visit us, the likes of Europe, the likes of Italy. Even international players will be coming around. So we've done a stadium in accordance with the international standards.
Ivan Juko, Weekly from Dutch, UBC News.
We're going to accommodate quite.
And that brings us to the end of our 10 o'clock edition of the UBC News Tonight. My name is WADULO Mark Arnold, Mugalu Muhammad on sign language. Have yourselves a lovely week.